Hey, Sinead. Yeah, pretty girl. I'll wait until there's some people keep losing connection. That's because I'm out of Wi-Fi range. Sinead and I were just doing our little morning stroll down on South 40. Laughingly said, I've got 2 acres. Um, a little, just a little strip of woods behind me. About a quarter acre of our property with a creek behind, and then on the other side there's uh, more woods, hills. I've shown pictures before of it, and how pretty it is, like in the morning mist, different scenes. Right now it's getting to be fall, so we're getting the fall colors. Not quite there, but hey, little by little there's. But I was strolling along and looked down. Now you see these. Sinead, don't pull. Here, I'll come down to where she is. Now watch. Wild onions. Smell so good. Yeah, I don't think you like that, Sinead. I don't think you care for that, but yeah, you'll munch on it. If I'm holding it, she'll eat it. Good girl. But there's a great big patch of them down here. They popped up, I guess, in these um, mild days here. Go for hikes, pick that up, and um, you can munch on it. They grow a little bit bigger. You can you can actually use them. They're good. Wild onions. Come on, Sinead. Stop it. I don't know what you're getting into there. If I let her get away with it, she'll find some deer poop. I usually don't have her on a leash. It's just a few days ago she was bad and got into the our new next door neighbors. They built a home next to us, and um, she she likes them. She greets them all the time, and she's pretty good about staying in our property. Uh, she's used to seeing the dad walking over, working around the house and everything. But this one day, uh, she saw him walking up from the bottom of the property, and she didn't recognize him. His head was down. He was coming from a different part of the property where only the deer and whatever else comes up from. And she ran at him, barking and everything. And So we have to reset the boundaries for her. That's all she did. She didn't bite or anything. And the neighbor understood, But yeah, we put up some flags along the property line, really about 20 feet in from the property line. And we're retraining her on property lines, stay within the boundaries. Pretty view through there. But I will put a training collar on her at first whenever I let her off leash again, but I will not go above vibrate. They have 3 settings. They have where it'll beep, different settings for, like 6 settings for beep, 6 settings for vibrate, and 6 settings for shock. I will not use shock, not unless she goes after their kid, unless she's really bad, in which case, that's a real problem. But no, she loves children, and my grandkids come all the time, and she plays with them, and it's just a little bit of territorial aggression in her that was unintentionally trained into her whenever someone comes up on her porch. Where she'll bark aggressively, and unfortunately that was encouraged. Well, she's only 4 years old, 4.5. We'll work on that, train her out of that. And she goes camping with me. She's fine around strangers whenever we're camping. I just tell everyone, just stand, act natural. Don't reach down to pet her or anything. Let her get used to you. Whenever she wants attention from you, then she'll come to you for it. But she's 100% border collie. Sorry guys, didn't mean to get you dizzy there. I had to spin around there because the leash was getting twisted around. Pretty through here. Whenever they built our home, my husband is a machine operator. He dug up these big rocks and put them down here at the bottom of the property. It's a nice flat area. Left these walnut trees up, and still have to clear this section out. Want to get it cleared down to the creek. And I piled those stones up there. And it looks like chipmunk, or haven't seen any squirrels around here, just chipmunks, but possibly a raccoon. I think they do that also. Was up here getting into the walnuts. But yes, there's a bunch of walnuts on the ground. Unfortunately, I don't fool with them. We have so many walnut trees on the property. They do go to waste because they are such a doggone hassle. to work with. Okay, I'm going to find a little spot here to rest my feet. Yeah, I'm not going to show the back of my house. Yeah, it's, as I said on my other videos, there, at the old place, there was a clan or troop of Bigfoot that were over the hill from us. And there was one in particular who would always come around the house. He was a real nuisance. He was a real SOB. That's about what I named him too. An SOB. I didn't give him a name. But he, about every 3 weeks, and this is pretty usual, depending on the territory, year round. About every 3 weeks, he would come around the house and bang on the. He wouldn't bang on the side of the house every time. Most of the time, he would just peek in the window, peek in through the back door. There goes the rock pile. I got to remember that I knocked that down, that something didn't interfere with it. And he would deliberately frighten my other dog. Her name was Xena. And she, more than frighten, he would terrify her. She would growl very, very softly whenever he was around and give a half growl, half whine, ears back, tail tucked, and just crawl backwards until she was huddled up against me. And so I knew that he was around whenever she would act that way. And whenever we would walk up over the hill, yeah, I would go by her signals if we were getting too close to a Bigfoot, because I never kept her on leash. She would range out ahead of me, and I'd keep an eye on her and her reactions, her ears and her reactions. She was my warning system. And whenever she would run out of the brush with her ears laid back and running, she must have a rock. She must have grabbed one of those rocks. She loves playing. Yeah, you do. You love playing with the rocks. Yeah, you do. You love playing with those. That's your toys. And anyway, but Sinead, she had her own encounter out in Salt Fork State Park. I guess it's a year ago now. And where she went over the side of the hill, to do her business. And yeah, she was on a lead there. And she just started to squat down when all of a sudden she ran back to me, and I recognized that look in her eyes. She was terrified. Ears back, tail tucked. So, yeah, I knew that one was waiting right over the hill, probably, being nosy about my friend Amy and I, what we were doing. We were just sitting around the campfire talking. It was late in the evening. But around my new house here, yeah, there's another troop. I've seen um, structures. I've heard vocals. I've seen. Um, in fact, I've had a rock thrown at me, but that was in response to me because um, this was whenever our house was newly built. I was throwing rocks out of our yard so Lou could mow, and I was throwing them into the field, next to us. Well, the grass was really high, and apparently something was in there watching me, throwing working in the yard, and I must have hit him or come too close to him, but I was walking away, and here comes a rock come bouncing up next to me. Um, um, and before our house was built, whenever we had a guy come with a brush hog, he was brush hogging along the tree line, and apparently he got a tree limb thrown at him. Because he commented to me, he said, "Look at this, there's a tree limb on my mower deck." And um, so that was a possibility. That I'm not saying 100% that was a Bigfoot that threw a tree limb at him. Um, it could be the same with the rock. Could have been a kid, neighbor kid, nosing around. Who knows? But uh, but then there is uh, an old gray, and that's what I named him, Old Gray, or Big Gray, Big Old Gray, because he's big. He's about 9 foot, and I've seen him 3 times, um, right around the house. The first time he was up in the field, top of the field across from my house. He was trailing a herd of deer, and the second and third times were at night. Second time, a big buck came racing out from behind the house. This was around maybe 2, 3 a.m. I had stayed up late and was letting Sinead out, and just out with her, and here comes this big buck racing out across the yard, across behind the neighbors, and um, I saw the big gray. He came bursting out from behind the house, running after her. It was pretty dark, uh, but I recognized him. And then the third time, I had gone out to let Sinead out, looked out, directly across from the man door of our garage. Here he is standing next to our neighbor's truck, pickup truck. Now, he's got a four-wheel drive um, Dodge Ram, which I'm told stands about 6 feet high. Well, he was head and top of shoulders above it. So that was him. Um, but So far, he hasn't bothered us, even though I've got 3 statues up in front of my yard, 3 Bigfoot statues, uh, father, mother, and baby, 3 foot, 2 foot, and 1 foot. um, I had them out at the old place at the other property, and cars would drive by and see that. They would stop, pull over, and take pictures, because I had them set up where it looked like they were walking through um, some rocks and weeds and everything. It was it was a pretty good background for them. But yeah, people would stop and take pictures of it. Yeah, as you see, there's not much traffic goes through. As a, we've only been here maybe 4 or 5 years, and when we first moved in here, there was only maybe one vehicle every half an hour that would pass by the house. Now it's up to one every 15 minutes or so, 10, 15 minutes. So it feels rather busy this morning. I've seen, what, I think 3 vehicles gone past during this video. That's too much traffic for me. I wanted to be further out in the country. I wanted more property, really. But see, there's another one. Yeah, this is too much traffic, getting too busy, like major highway through here. I'm going to have to tell my husband, time to move. Time to sell. Time to move out in the country, further out. Dead end. No traffic. That would be my dream. Way out. But, yeah, I really, um, what was last weekend, I think it was, Bill Rigby and I went out to Salt Fork, and we went on a trip there to help him because 5 weeks previous he had a sighting that hit him pretty hard. He had seen a Bigfoot. It was only about 10 foot away from him. And Bill is not he's retired military. Um, he says nothing scares him, but that shook him to his core. It really did. And so he wanted to go there again and, jump back on the horse. So we went back. There were supposed to be 2 others that were going to join us, but unfortunately something happened. They couldn't come along with us. So the trail that Bill wanted to walk down on where he saw the Bigfoot, he couldn't go because I cannot hike. And for me, just 2 of us is not enough. I like, honestly, at least 3. The more eyes, the better. 'Cause they'll sneak up on you. They'll sneak right up on you. Like that one, he was only 10 foot away from Bill. Um, they count coup. The closer they can get, oh, the more points they get with their brothers, with the rest of the troop. The big guy, big and brave, beat their chest. Yeah, I got that close to the human, or even close enough to touch. There's been instances of that. The juveniles, they'll do that. they'll egg each other on like kids. They'll dare each other, you get close enough to touch. You go ahead. I'll bet you can't do it. I bet you're not brave enough to do it. And they play games. The juveniles, they're the ones that you get the most activity out of because they like teenagers, big and brave. Plus they get bored. We're their entertainment. See, there's another vehicle. Man. Well, I am going to get off of here and get to the day's work. I've got some messages that I have to answer. Uh, the admins, a few of the admins and moderators on the Facebook group are going to go camping next weekend, and not all of them, a few of them are not able to come, so they'll be the ones handling the group. Plus, we do have a signal from parts of the camp, um, so I'll be checking in every so often on the group, the Facebook group, Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project. Uh, Please join if you haven't already. And tell you what, I don't say it often enough. Sometimes I forget, but please like the video. Subscribe if you haven't already. I need more subscribers, please. This is, we need to build up the subs on here. And there should be a link in the description to buy t-shirts. If not, make a comment in the comment section, and or else there should be, I think in the about section, there might be a contact me where it'll send me an email and tell me you want to order a t-shirt. It has I have the one with the monkey wench logo that I can um, get sent to you, or the Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project logo. You tell me which one you want and what size. In an email. Don't give me your address or email through the message, through the on the comment section of YouTube. Uh, I would not advise that. Um, but email that to me, and yeah, they're $25 each plus shipping. Or if you live in the general area of Newcastle in Lawrence County, Pennsylvania, within 20 miles or so, thereabouts, I'll come meet you, or, we'll find a halfway point and meet up. But, but next weekend, the admins and I, we have some new administrators and moderators, and this is a time for us to meet face to face, because a lot of them I haven't met yet in person, and meet them and do a little bigfooting with them in a area. And then whenever we return, we'll we'll post photos and video of our trip, as well as the report of where we were. But it'll be an active area, And then sometime next spring, we'll try to get the ones who weren't able to come on this trip, try to get them to come along on another trip sometime in the spring. Uh, yeah, there's, and then in the springtime, we'll start up the campouts again. For information on that, you'll need to join the Facebook group, Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project. And yeah, we do hold, for a while there, I was doing them every month. Well, the first few years, I was doing it once a year. And then I figured, what the heck, I'm going to try once a month. Well, unfortunately, that got too much for me. Uh, it, I love camping, but it's the planning, the stress, especially for a number of people, for because sometimes we don't get a huge amount of people come to our campouts, unfortunately. I will try to get them more eastern. I do want to go to Micho and the Poconos, and that will wait until next year. I wanted to do it this year, but circumstances happened, and I just couldn't do it. But some people in our group are planning for me to come out to, I think, Bucks County area to do a talk out there, because most of my talks are around Western Pennsylvania that I do for festivals and so on. And so they're planning one. And as soon as we get the details worked out, then I'll make an announcement on a video, as well as, of course, it'll be on the group. But if you're on Facebook, join the group, Pennsylvania Bigfoot Project. And please like and subscribe to the video, comment, ask questions. Tell me what you like and don't like about the videos. I know mine aren't like, a lot of the ones out there. I don't have a night vision camera. Plus, I don't hike anymore. I can't. Unfortunately, I've explained it before. I am disabled. I injured my leg about 20 years ago. And so I pretty much stick around base camp, and I handle and coordinate from there. And yeah, I get activity right there at base camp while everybody's out hiking around. Sometimes they don't have any activity, but I've gotten it all. That has happened. Or I'll still get a little, and I'll get a lot. But yeah, if you see my video on whenever we went to Braddock, Pennsylvania, really it's all audio, because I only took audio on that particular video, that is. But it's audio of what was going on around me. But, okay. Well, like I said about 10 minutes ago or so, thereabouts, I'm going to get going, get my day's work in, and we'll see you on the group. Catch on the flip-flop. Monkey wench out.